Yeah, we're in the ice cream business, but we've always been about much more than just ice cream. We use our power, our privilege, our platform, and our relationship with our fans to advocate for progressive social change. So no, we're not just going to stick to ice cream.
And we're never going to stop trying to dismantle white supremacy, end the climate crisis, or fight for our democracy.
As with most places that are very progressive, or the thought that is behind progressive thinking, is that they don't realize their hypocrisy. Welcome to the Father Leo Show, where I'm dishing out faith, culture, and commentary. And in this episode, we're going to discuss Ben & Jerry's new flavor ice cream, which is hypocrisy. Yeah, we're going to talk about how a company that claims to be so pro-social activism really isn't practicing what they preach. And it wouldn't be a problem except for they are making a lot of money off of this deal. So before we jump into it, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and comment. It really does help overcome the suppressions of the algorithms against Catholic content. And also please consider supporting us on patreon.com/The Father Leo Show. You can join at any level, but remember, if you support us with some financial gift, it really does not only help us and my staff, it helps, more importantly, it gives you access to some pretty great content and some special perks. So let's just jump right into it now with a flavor of Ben & Jerry's ice cream that unfortunately leaves a little bit of a bitter taste in my mouth. Now, I absolutely love ice cream. I kind of liked it more as a child, and then as I got older, I just didn't eat it as much until I lived in Italy, and gelato kind of re-engaged my love for frozen flavored milk. And it is good. Gelato is good. It's in a way so much better than ice cream. But every now and then, especially if I'm with friends or something in the summertime, who doesn't want a little ice cream? But what's your favorite brand? Well, when I was younger, there were just a few brands out there. Now there's a ton of them. But probably one of the most popular is Ben & Jerry's because of their unique flavor concoctions, their very clever marketing schemes, and also what I would call their whimsical approach to naming these ingredients. But I've discovered over the past few years how a company like this is really more than pushing ice cream. They are really pushing an agenda. And I don't know if I can handle even one scoop of it, especially in their new commercial like this.
Stick to ice cream. Not gonna lie, we get this one a lot.
Yeah, we're in the ice cream business, but we've always been about much more than just ice cream. We use our power, our privilege, our platform, and our relationship with our fans to advocate for progressive social change. So no, we're not just going to stick to ice cream.
And we're never going to stop trying to dismantle white supremacy, end the climate crisis, or fight for our democracy.
And no, we're not going to stop fighting laws that restrict trans rights, ban books, and roll back abortion protections.
Caring about that stuff, doing something about it, and supporting communities who've been directly impacted by it is part of our DNA, and it has been since we opened up our first scoop shop in Burlington, Vermont back in 1978.
Ben & Jerry were two best friends who love making ice cream. But for them, the only reason to be in business was to do business differently.
Whether we're working with activists in St. Louis to close a racist and inhumane jail, or working to restore the right to vote for people who were formerly incarcerated in Florida, or turning up a delicious new flavor in support of refugee rights in the UK, being an activist company is who we are.
And we know our fans wouldn't want it any other way. Because while we love making the best possible ice cream in the best possible way, the world needs more than just great ice cream.
We don't pretend to always know the answers, but we partner with and take the lead from activists and allies who do. And we hope you'll join us in taking action to support them. That's just who we are and who we've been for 45 years.
Okay. And there you have it. They are at least honest about it. And that's perfectly fine. Guess what? If you're a company that wants to be activists, you go right ahead. In the same way, I, as a Catholic priest with my food operations, I am unabashedly a Catholic priest. And I think the values that we stand for in my food truck or at the gastro-social restaurant space, it has to kind of carry the spirit of me as the founder of it. I'm a Catholic priest and I want to serve people. I want to tap in the power of food and do good. And in a way, Ben & Jerry's wants to do the same. They think they are doing good with their food by supporting progressive values. And guess what? They're allowed to do it because it's a free country. The problem is, as with most places that are very progressive, or the thought that is behind progressive thinking, is that they don't realize their hypocrisy. And I know that people are going to say that about me. It's like, Father, especially if you're a fan of Ben and Jerry's, you are not going to like this episode, and you're going to want to throw that at me. But let me tell you, I'm not saying you can't eat it. In fact, go ahead. Have them all. Have all the flavors if you want. You go right ahead. Buy as much of it as you want. In fact, my For You page, whether it be on social media, it's always showing people in response to Ben and Jerry's, either throwing them out of their freezer or going to the supermarket and buying more. I am not telling you what to eat. And I am not telling you to boycott Ben and Jerry's. That's just not what I'm about. But I think it's important to understand the hypocrisy that is also being fed to us every time we do eat something from a company that claims to be progressive and social oriented in values, but at the same time, they do very, very little, or they do it in a way that hides their ultimate desire, and that is to make money. And so it doesn't take much for the internet, after seeing something like this, to just dig a little bit deeper and realize the hypocrisy that is being served to us in large scoop proportions, like this guy.
Hey, Ben and Jerry's, what do you make, buddy? We make the world a better place through all that we do and stand for, and have silly named ice cream. That's great. Too bad you're a fraud. The perfect example of performative activism and virtue signaling.
I don't think you can prove that.
Want to find out?
Uh-oh.
Everybody loves to talk about how well you treat your employees. From the lowest paid person to the highest paid person, you had a 1-to-5 wage ratio. Except that stopped in 1994. And did it go down to 1-to-4? 1-to-3?
Well, I mean, no, it went the other way.
Yeah, you don't seem to disclose that information anymore. Super weird. Speaking of workers, your suppliers seem to hire a lot of migrant workers and then treat them horribly, which is crazy because you like to comment a lot on Europe's migrant situation, but you still buy products from places that treat ours terribly.
Well, that's different.
You seem to support gay marriage. In Australia, you said you wouldn't serve 2 scoops of the same flavor together until they legalized gay marriage. Too bad you didn't do that for the Philippines and Singapore, which you continue to serve. It's almost like this wasn't about gay marriage and more about a tactical advertising campaign.
No, we love gay people in places that'll help our sales.
It's weird. It's almost like you care more about white gay people than Asian gay people. Speaking of which, you sold to Unilever in 2000, which is a litany of problems on its own. And when Unilever was pressuring the editor of Cosmopolitan in Sri Lanka to sell more skin whitening cream, she said no. And then they tried to get her fired. And you didn't seem to comment on that. I've checked and I can't find anything.
We're super pro people of color. In fact, we even posted on Independence Day about giving Native American people their land back.
You did say we should give back Native American land. And then the tribe that used to own the land that your headquarters is on said we'd love it back. You went oddly quiet.
What do you want from us?
Same thing from every company. Be honest. If you really believe in these things, live it. If you don't, stop lying for marketing purposes.
We, along with other corporations, agree. No, we're not going to stop doing that. Also, we've convinced millions of people that we agree with their social and political goals. You know how impossible it is to change your mind. Facts are never going to do it. Have fun in the comments section.
Well, there you have it. Youth Pastor Ryan, first of all, man, young people can speak very fast. That is just unbelievable how fast he was able to talk. So kudos to him. But also, I think I appreciate the critical thinking and the research that he put into it. Again, I want to just say that I am not here to tell you what to buy or what to eat. But every time you do take a scoop of that ice cream or, a big lick of it, you are digesting, in a sense, their message as well. It's at this stage of my life in priesthood, I realize that the devil does everything possible to try to feed us with lies. And these days, the devil isn't even hiding his or her claims. The devil is just basically saying this company, Ben & Jerry's, which again, started off as just a fun, kind of quirky and interesting ice cream company, has grown, and you heard some of their leadership call themselves privileged. They are privileged, and they do have the right to use their money any way they want. But I think Ryan's research showed that there is hypocrisy. Their upper level are receiving almost like 6 times more than they did in the past. It's non-disclosed anymore. You have to do some research to find it, while their workers are not getting paid all that much money at all. You know, if you really want to be kind of that socialist redistributive justice idea of finances, then everyone should make the same amount. But that doesn't happen in their company. So basically, it's hypocrisy. The child labor laws are pretty disturbing themselves. And just even thinking along the lines of the Native American lands that they have taken in the northeast of the United States, particularly Vermont, and how they wanted those lands back, but nope, you can't do it, even though they want to stand up for those rights of the Native Americans. But then you just think to yourself, what does ice cream have to do with gay marriage? That part I don't get. And when they spend money, they basically have a lot of this money and they can donate it to different causes. What exactly are they donating it to? I mean, what organization is out there that is fighting for gay marriage? Because guess what? It's already a thing. It's already a thing. Not in the Catholic Church, but it is in the world. So what exactly are they spending money for? It's just confusing. I remember I was at, it was a secular event, and they just had ice cream, and the host had to make such a big deal and say, and this ice cream is helping to support gay marriage. And I honestly wanted to spit up. I just like, are you kidding me? What does ice cream have to do with gay marriage? It really is inserting an agenda with every bite and every scoop. Now, does this make you mad? No, because it's the principles of capitalism, which again, Ben & Jerry's, they see themselves as maybe a social enterprise. No, it is a full-blown corporation. It is a business, and they are in it to make money. And they know that their base, which is about maybe 30%, at least 30% of America, is very liberal and very woke. If they were just to sell to just 30% of America's population, they would be rolling in their cookie dough ice cream. They really would be. And so they know what they're doing. But what's interesting is that this same progressive thought is that which fights against capitalism. And they are using exactly the principles of capitalism. So do with this what you will. But then I just decided to take a look, for example, at just some of the ingredients of Ben & Jerry's. And I think this might be for like their fudge brownie flavor. I'm not quite sure. But when you take a look at the ingredients, there's a lot in there for ice cream. I mean, ice cream should be milk, should be sugar, should be egg, and should be whether the flavor is chocolate or they should have cocoa powder or chocolate chips. But there's just a lot in here. And so I don't think I want to eat this ice cream for the lack of nutritional value. But more importantly, I don't think I want it because I don't want to support a company. Now, I'm not asking you to boycott Ben & Jerry's. Not at all. Nor am I encouraging you to order more Ben & Jerry's. Do whatever you want. But since that commercial, I've seen a lot of, again, things on my For You page of people either emptying out their freezer from Ben & Jerry's. I don't recommend doing that. Food should not be wasted. Just shouldn't be wasted. Or I see people going to the grocery store in the freezer section and buying a whole bunch of it. And that's, again, your prerogative. But what I'd like for you to do, and the reason why I'm talking about this is because I think it's important for us to understand how products like this work. And what you stand for matters. When I was younger, there was a big push to not use products made by Procter & Gamble. Why? Because the logo on Procter & Gamble, according to some sort of, I don't even know if it's a rumor or if it's a fact, they said that it was connected to a satanic image. And of course, Procter & Gamble denies it. Ben & Jerry's doesn't deny that they are woke, liberal, and all about progressive social change, which I think to some degree they are winning that war, and they're doing it with food. But when I was younger, my mom and dad intentionally started looking for things that were related to Procter & Gamble and started not buying them anymore just because they didn't want to support that cause. And I don't know if it's true or not. So I'm glad that this young Pastor Ryan, youth Pastor Ryan, was able to do some research, and I checked some of it out, and it's pretty credible. But even then, I wouldn't want to support Ben & Jerry's just because of their principles. I don't want to give money to that. I would rather give money to groups that sell not only good product, but they also just have a mission to just sell good product. And if they have another kind of passion, I want it to be something that aligns with my values. Feeding the poor, clothing the naked, sheltering those who are without a home. I would love to see how much money they do give to any of these organizations. Unfortunately, my research can't really show that. I just don't have that research. But it would be, if Ben & Jerry's really cared, they would disclose how much they give to all of these organizations. And those organizations should be able to say, where did those monies go? You see, when people make donations to us, I can tell you where it goes. It goes to the employees' salaries so that they can actually have a job. We are not a big corporation. In fact, we're not anywhere near a real live restaurant company, because it's a long story, but it's just not trying to be a restaurant. But anytime people want to support us, it's either going to support our staff, some of whom are coming out of prison systems or just out of very disadvantaged communities, or it's going to feed the hungry, especially during the winter months, which, by the way, if you would like to do that, just simply go to our website. It's currently the Table Foundation. We're going to be changing it to the Plating Grace Foundation, and you'll be able to make a donation knowing that it is going 100% to those good things. It's not going to the CEO. Trust me, it ain't going there. It's going out to help the people. And that's what I would want to see from a company like Procter & Gamble, or in this case, Ben & Jerry's. Tell us how much you're giving. We already know why. And then let's find out where that money is going. Because, for example, with Black Lives Matter, that organization, which we all know, and I knew it from the start, it was a scam, just to simply just line the pockets of the founders with a ton of money. And again, it's not accounted for. So every time you take a scoop of ice cream, ask yourself if you are just being full of it. Because I don't want people to become hypocrites. And we become hypocrites because we digest it. And in this case, this seems very hypocritical. And as the priest who was always talking about food, remember, you are what you eat. Thank you for watching. I hope that this was helpful in giving you something to think about, something to chew on, or something to lick. And we're talking about ice cream, obviously. And in the meantime, please make sure you like, subscribe, share, and comment. Tell me, is there an organization or an ice cream company that you like, that supports good values? And let's talk about that. I'd love to hear your favorite ice cream and their brand. Or perhaps tell me what's your favorite flavor. I've got some weird ones. But anyway, your comments and your liking, supporting certainly helps, as well as your support on patreon.com/The Father Leo Show. It really is, with your help, the only way that we can continue to dish out faith, culture, and commentary. God bless you, and stay hungry for Him.